how does embodiment connect to our business, would you say?
In so many ways. The first way is that basically, if you were to think about your business, and again, you place your attention onto your feet, you can actually start to feel where you are within your business, how rooted you are within your business, how planted you are within your business, how present you are within your business. You can use your feet, you can use your base chakra as a tuning fork to actually give you an idea of where you are in the midst of all of that. And then we can go up, basically, when you go up through the body, each of your energy centers relate on a physical level. So you go up into the sacral, which is just below the navel, and there's that kind of like gut instinct in the sacral and the solar plexus, you know, that sort of sense of when you know that something's right, when you know that something's hit home for you, this is exactly it. You can get that sensation and that feeling in the sacral and in the solar plexus. And those could be really go-to places in and of the moment. If you want a yes/no answer about what's in front of you, it will either give you that sense of yes, you know, that kind of like excitement, that sort of sense of unfurling, that sense of, or it'll give you a sort of sense of kind of like contracting, which doesn't mean that is a no, but it means that if you don't actually delve into what's contracting, you'll go forward as a yes, and this thing will actually bring you right back to it as a no, because you need to actually figure out, well, why is my energy contracting around this thing? Why is it that I'm turning in on myself rather than meeting it with the full presence of who I am and where I am, you know? And we can go through, I mean, basically, if we go up into the heart with that, the heart to me is like the biggest tuning fork, because we tend to sort of think of the mind as running the show. We tend to think of the consciousness as running the show. But actually, studies have proven that the heart is more intuitive than the mind. And it's the heart that then informs the mind of what's going on. The heart will get an intuitive hit as a sensation, as a frequency, as a feeling, and then the mind will then start to grapple around as to like, well, what does that mean? And it'll start pulling things out of the ether that relates to that feeling and that emotion. So when we tune into the heart as a first port of call, we're tuning into literally the doorway of everything when it comes to our energy flow. And when our heart says yes, there's an alignment that instantaneously occurs that can plug us in. When the heart says no, we kind of like find ourselves going forward, and it feels like we're dragging luggage behind us because the heart hasn't got the bought in, and so then the flow between all the other chakras become really choppy, basically. And the flow of our life becomes quite choppy around this thing. And when we get into the throat is basically that sort of sense of the ambassador, that sense of our expression, that sense of our truth. And when it comes to our business, and especially when it comes to soulful business, the heart and the throat are really important as sensations in the body, because a lot of times when we're actually in the soulful realm of business, we're also in the pioneering realm of business. And very much a lot of people that I speak to around soulful business, they're not working to a template, they're working to guidance. They're working to downloads. They're working to opening up and allowing and bringing information out from the core of who they are, the divine core of who they are. Our world and the template of our world isn't always like set up to applaud that kind of way. So we have had to find ways to actually strengthen and root ourselves in and empower ourselves in what we're doing, and then bring this information out. And a lot of times, because of that level of empowerment and strengthening, and that needs to occur, if that doesn't happen, it starts to play out in the way that we're able to express what we do, and it plays out in our heart connection, basically, because the heart will go into yes, no, because we haven't grounded what we're doing, and our expression then starts to get a little bit choppy depending on who we're talking to and how strong an opposition they might present to us, we then start to cower inwards as a result of that because we haven't grounded and rooted. So bringing the energy into that really becomes really important. And you can start to feel all of this when you start to attune yourself to the energy that's flowing in the body. You can start to feel all of this as like frequencies, as surges, as sensations that are either contracting or expansive, basically, that are either flowing or it feels like they're stagnant, like something needs to shift before this can open out. And so this is a lot, and basically just to finish off, the third eye is our visionary center. It's our center of being able to see the road ahead, being able to be guided by the road ahead. And again, you know, sometimes the road ahead, what's looking like truth for us in the road ahead can sometimes be very, very scary. It can feel like a yes, but then it feels really shaky. So for example, if you get called to talk in front of 200 people, and this is a vision that you see when you close your eyes in terms of your business. I see myself up on stage. I've heard this before. I see myself up on stage, but it's just so scary. Like I can't, do you know what I mean? Like the concept of it, everything clams and internalizes and starts to shut down. This is where your work is guiding you to, but unless you actually deal with all of this going on, then it's hard. And actually this is a guiding force. So this vision that you've got is there to show you where your boundaries are and show you what needs to be released and show you what you're actually growing into. It might not be the final vision, but it's definitely a sort of vision of that. And then the final thing is the crown chakra. And to me, the crown chakra speaks so much about your business legacy. Like when you're dead and gone, what do you want the echoes of your business energy to be? What do you want your contribution to life, to the world, to this planet? What do you want that to be? And it speaks very much of a broader lens and kind of a more universal lens, but it speaks to also a bigger vision than just yourself when it comes to your business. And when it's soulful business, the bigger vision is always there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's always kind of like it could be in the ether while you're like sorting out the nitty gritty at the bottom, but it's always there basically.